What is good? What is good? We're not going to hit an intro today because we are running on a time limit. But welcome to the Pro Wrestling Shoot. I am your host, Jesse. Joined with me today, very special friend of the show and WWE 2K24 Game Dev, Bryan Williams. Bryan, it's been far too long, my friend.
What's up, Jesse? Friend of just friend at large too. We're just
Friend at
friends.
large. Friend at
Yeah,
large. Yep.
yeah. We
Absolutely,
buddies,
man.
man. We go way back to WrestleMania 24.
I should have grabbed the medal from the time that I met you from the THQ days back in SVR 08 days. And yeah, I should have grabbed that. I was thinking about it, but I was in modding the chat for Conrad over there at EPW. Thanks everybody for showing up to that. We got a lot of questions, man. But I want to
Well, before you
clarify.
did you guys coordinate, you and Conrad? Did you guys coordinate these shirts?
Yes, dude.
Okay.
So this is kind of a teaser to all the 2K people watching today. what me and Conrad need in this game. I'm not going to say it's confirmed or nothing like that. Obviously, we know nothing about that, but CM Punk all day, baby.
I wish you would have told me. I would have worn mine.
Hey, I wish I would have now. I didn't know you had one.
Oh yeah, I picked it up at the Rumble.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. So yeah, man. So I just want to clarify to the chat, we are going to be taking some super chat questions at the end, but Bryan cannot answer anything about roster. So because they're currently doing a roster reveal right now. So
Unless they've been announced already.
if they've been announced, we could talk about them.
Yeah.
If the roster has not been announced, same with DLC. We're not allowed to talk about those two things. So if you're sending super chats, keep that in mind. I will try to get to as many of those at the end as possible. With that being said, let me pop up the second round of questions for Bryan because I'm sure he's just exhausted at this point.
I'm good,
Quality
brother. I'm good. I'm a rally.
quality of life is something we've heard a lot in previous interviews. What quality of life features are you most excited for WWE 2K24?
Oh man, starting out with a tough one. Because I say tough, it's just because it's hard to pick any one thing.
You guys added a bunch of bangers in this year, so I had to bring
Yeah.
it in strong for you, man. Hey,
I mean,
Conrad was warming you up for me. I'm just
yeah,
letting you know.
there were a lot of things that because the team is, I mean, they went so far above and beyond this year. This is something I haven't really discussed a whole lot in interviews, but the combat on the announce table has been revamped.
I love it.
And that's one of those things where, because when I'm doing these interviews, everybody wants to go, and rightfully so, the return of special guest referee match, the debut of the ambulance and the casket match, gauntlet, and all that. But and sometimes it gets kind of lost in the weeds about the fact that, oh yeah, you can now fight again, once again, on top of the announce table. And not only that, but we've got contextual attacks, throws, strikes that you can do from there. And it's one of those things that, like a lot of like the quality of life things that we've done are things that, one, were either in the franchise previously and we brought them back. And we've brought them back better than they were the last time you saw them. And the announce table combat is one such element. Before we start recording, you had mentioned the return of being able to have blood transfer and drip on the mat. These are things that, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to make the most authentic, pro wrestling WWE experience that we can. And and our mantra is like, if you see it on programming, we want players to be able to replicate that in the game when they got the sticks in their hands. So yeah, the announce table combat I think is a huge improvement. The improvements that have been made to the Irish whip. You can now whip an opponent that's kneeling, which is nice.
Yeah, I love that.
We've improved the manual rebounds, and just the rebound attacks themselves are a lot tighter. And
No more bumping.
you're going to see a lot less of the chest bumps
Yep.
on those type of attacks. Man, what's another one? I think I'm not sure if this qualifies as a quality of life, but I like what we've done, and haven't really talked about this a whole lot. It's probably gonna piss some people off.
Well, don't do that. Don't do that if you can't talk about it.
Oh no, it's fine. I
Oh,
can talk. I just haven't. I've mentioned it out there here and there, but I like what we've done with resiliency. For those of you whose success has always predicated off of using resiliency, You're gonna have to step up your kick out game, because you can no longer hold resiliency unless your character has an OVR of 85 and above.
Nice.
We wanted to gate that, and it was one of those things that I think it came up last year when I was on your show. We got a lot of my faction feedback and questions about the fact that, like, why do these low bronze cards, like, everybody's got resiliency, like this 69 rated card, this tomato can, who I should be able to roll over with my diamond, is kicking out of my finishers and all that kind of stuff. So we took that feedback to heart, and it's one of those things that resiliency was never meant to be used in that prevalently by everybody. It was always
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
for the tippy top line main event superstars. So I'm glad that we kind of brought that back down to earth.
Gonna see a lot of Roman Reigns in online mode this year.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, but the thing is that with the addition of super finishers, which I'm sure we'll probably get to, like, so we've gated it, but that still doesn't mean that it's there are ways that you can nerf it. If you get hit with a super finisher, you will not be able to use resiliency to kick out. You have a debuff that lasts, I think, around 20 seconds after you've been hit successfully by someone's super finish, where even if you have resiliency assigned, you're going to have to kick out on your own. And that was one of those ways where we really wanted to reinforce the effectiveness and the use of these super finishers, so that it's not just super in name, it's super in use also. Like, if you
Right,
kick out
right,
of a
yeah.
super finish, that's an achievement in and of itself. So
That's a clippable moment. That's the things that you throw on TikTok.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. So, speaking of the quality of life, man, when it comes to the new match types and the quality of life of WWE 2K24, are features like diminishing face paint, the blood physics, blow for blow, match types, etc., going to be featured in future franchise games, or can the fans expect some features to be removed eventually?
Uh, the blow by blow, you're talking about the
Trading
trading
blows.
blows
Yep.
mini game. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm here just to talk about 2K24. But I will say that one of the things that we strive to do each and every year is if we I mean, I'll take 2K23 as an example, right? What
Right.
was one of the big things in that year's game was the War Games match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, this probably won't and shouldn't come as any shock or surprise, but yeah, the War Games match is also a 2K24. When we're spending the effort and the time and the energy adding new features to the game, like, the goal is always to have that thing, one, be a hit with the fans and to carry it forward and have it become a part of the franchise. I mean, I mentioned resiliency. Resiliency has been around since SmackDown versus Raw 2010. You
Yeah, it's
know,
been a while.
so that's always the goal. Like, we never want to, especially when it comes to these quality of life. I mean, they're quality of life for a reason, where it's like life. We want these things to be long-standing features and parts of the game moving forward. So yeah, I don't expect that we will be rolling back any of these improvements moving forward.
Awesome, man. Hey, what can we expect from the online servers this year? I know that some people have experienced some issues over the past couple of games from 22 to 23. Was there any work put into the servers this year to kind of build those up for community creations or even online rank matches, things like that?
Oh yeah. I got this question with Conrad, and it's a good question because obviously, the online stability of the game is super important. I mean, between just community creations or online gameplay, uh, outside of my faction and in my faction, like, that's an important element of the gameplay experience, and we are always looking to improve the stability of our servers. I don't work with that side of the game intimately, but
Right.
I do know that the online team, like, they are constantly uh, debugging and trying to figure out ways to improve that experience for the fan base. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that is almost like you're never done. Um, you're just constantly monitoring and just trying to make improvements and listen to the fan base, see how their experience is, and that's what the online team does on the regular. Because they get reports of stability, and they know what's going on with the servers, and they're constantly doing their best to iron out any issues that may exist.
Fantastic, man. Did the universe mode in MyGM get any major changes this year? Can we expect things like show intros? I think that you've confirmed that those are no longer in, but can we expect promos? And are these features we're looking at adding in the future if they're not there?
Yeah, promos are not in universe this year. I've seen people you know mention that on social media on X. I'm still calling it Twitter. It's really
Yeah,
Twitter.
it's
Um,
Twitter all day for me.
so the promos, it's one of those things where if the desire uh is such where fans really want these things back. Obviously we're listening, we stay attuned to that. But again, like if we were to reintroduce promos, obviously we want it to be we'd want to do better than how it was before, obviously. But yeah, I mean, if the fan base demands it, I know we've had discussions about it potentially
Mhm.
being something that's brought back, but yeah, it is not in 2K24. And outside of that, yeah, I had mentioned on social that the show intros in universe, yeah, we those aren't there either. But there are definitely always improvements to universe. I know all the new match types are all there. Um, the double championship support. Um,
Can
and
you do, oh, you just said all the new match types are
yeah,
available in Universe? Okay.
yeah. And yeah, I know that the Universe Mo team, my boy Crystal, like he's been working on Universe since the THQ days. Uh, he's really like, and one day, because I know Universe's fan base is such where, it probably would behoove you and Conrad, I guess, maybe to have Crystal on, and you can just have like a show dedicated to just Universe because he can speak to all of that a little bit better than me. But I do
Okay.
know that he definitely has. There are definitely improvements that fans can expect in Universe and in MyGM as well. I mean, the ECW is a brand now in MyGM, which is
IGM.
cool. There will be some new GMs that you can select. Um, Improvements to the trade system has been implemented and added. What else? There's this kind of cool meta game within my gym where you can actually, I forget what Tyson calls. Tyson's the designer of my gym. I forget the name of it. It escapes me. But it's basically like a game within the game where you can take a guy or gal that's just starting out and kind of help uh, usher them into the main event scene, by they gain XP and all this type of thing to kind of go from opening the show to closing it. Um, and
That's
just yeah,
awesome.
there's a ton of quality of life improvements in my GM as well. But again, like I don't work intimately with that area of the game, but
Right.
yeah, but yeah, if you're a fan of my GM, trust me, you will like it.
I'm excited, man. I am a fan of my GM. I'm a fan of Universe Mode. I'm excited to see what you guys did with it this year. And also, man, this I have to ask these questions because, creation is probably the biggest part of 2K. And I think that this is what you guys are most known for. I don't think any wrestling game out there can replicate what 2K has done with the creation suite and all those bells and whistles that come along with it. So what is different in the creation suite this year? Is body morphing back for creator wrestler? Are there things that we can talk about for the cause system that is special this year?
Probably the one improvement, at least to Custom Superstar, that I think has been getting a lot of excuse me, a lot of kind of fanfare, I guess. Maybe fanfare is maybe being too much, but we've added a quick save feature to Custom Superstar. So as you're creating the character, with the press of a button, you can quickly save whatever it is you're working on without
Right.
fear of potentially losing. If somebody trips over the cord,
That's a
you
great feature.
yeah, because we know, like we see, I mean, like my Twitter timeline is filled with nothing but these dope ass custom superstars that people have created and uploaded to community creations.
Me too.
And
Shout
so
shout out to them boys, man.
the icons, yeah.
Yep.
And so I know that work takes time, and so this quick save I think will go a long way towards our hope to alleviating any kind of stress that might be involved in
Yeah.
potentially losing hours or minutes that you put into the creation of your character. With that, we've also, with the goal, this goes along with the special guest referee, but we've added the ability to create your own set of referee attire for superstars.
Are we getting Shawn Michaels in the booty shorts? Is that
I
what we're
was gonna,
talking here?
you can put them in those shorts. Yeah,
Yeah.
that will be possible. So that's really cool. There's a new create a sign feature that's really cool. And then just to go along with all the general new parts and just general maintenance that goes into Custom Superstar each and every year. So yeah, man, it's because yeah, you're right. I mean, this game is huge, and you know, I mean, there are people who play this game for the matches. There are people who play this game just for the creative aspect of it. Of they just like getting in there and making these characters, arenas, championships, which just, you know, I find myself just constantly amazed at the brilliance of the people in the community and
It's
just
incredible.
how it is, man. Like, and you know, I've been working on this game for a while, and you know, within certain, you know, create modes and all that. And the thing that everybody, at least for me, like just speaking on myself personally, is just because I suck at creating anything. But the goal was always just to give the player the tools to make this incredible content, and seeing that, you know, that players are is like that's it, that's everything. I mean, I still
Yeah,
suck at it, but
me
thankfully
too.
there's community creations, and I can just download everybody else's work. I'm a leech in that regard.
Me too. I told the Icon boys, "Hey man, I could be a spokesman for you, but I can't do anything when it comes to create. I'm just gonna download your stuff." So,
Yeah, for real.
do you know if Body Morphin has made it back for the Create a Superstar? Because I know that before it was just kind of preset body types, and before
Yeah,
we used to be able to kind of, you know, tone out whatever we wanted on the Created Wrestler. Is that brought back?
I had to double check. I'm not entirely sure at the moment. I don't want to, you know, say a lie or give out the wrong information. So I
Okay.
will find out and I'll get back to you.
Perfect, man. What about create an arena parts? Are there new parts added to create an arena? Is there anything
Oh yeah, oh
special
yeah,
that we've done with that this year?
yeah. One of the things that I know that the custom arena team has done is they've improved like they've added new props. Like they really went kind of big with the props and the things that you can set and apply, like on the stage areas, and just to kind of give players a little bit more fidelity with those props, and to be a little less restrictive on where they can be placed. I mean, you can't place things just willy nilly everywhere, but I know
Right.
that was a big undertaking this year with them. Um, and again, just giving new parts and new customization options are always things that are regularly added to all of our custom modes or create modes.
Awesome, man. Do the new features like diminishing face paint, does that work on Create a Wrestler? Do you know if that will work on the
It
cause this
will.
year?
You're talking about the face
The
paint rub
face
off?
paint. Yep. Yep.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Are what about logo limits? We were
Look,
always stuck at that 1,000 logo limit. Is that still the same at logos or
yes. From what I understand, logo limits and the number of the 100 uh, superstars that you can save,
yes?
that remains the same.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I mean, 100
It
is a lot, y'all. 100 is a lot. I know everybody wants more and more, but 100 is
a
not
hun
nothing.
I don't think that the 100 call limit is an issue. I think that the 1,000 logo limit is because when you download the call, there could be like 40 or 50 logos. I never make it to the 100 creator wrestlers. It's not going to happen, not without running out of logos. But if there was just a way that we could get maybe all the logos that are placed on this creator wrestler to be one logo that we
Right,
download, you know what I mean? Like maybe that
right.
would work out, but I get it, man. 100 creator wrestlers. I mean, geez, it is a lot. It is a lot. Anything different added to custom match types?
You talking about like you're creating your own match?
Yeah, when you're creating your own match, like the first blood and stuff, is there anything different that we've done with those this year?
Um, well, I mean, I would say, anytime you add a new match, there are elements that can be edited within custom match. So if you wanted to, like, what's an example? Uh, well, actually, I'd have to double check that now that I'm thinking about it. I'm not quite sure. Uh, yeah, like if you're asking if there are any new steps,
Yeah, any new
no,
not
but nothing,
not any new stipulations, but any like
but nothing's been taken away
any
from the
different
custom match
things that we can
experience.
add to like the custom matches, you know what I mean? Because there were limits with the custom match setup, but what I've always wanted to do, like since you guys brought war games last year, man, I thought it would be cool to bring in like I mean, obviously this is probably not in 2K24, but to put the top on that thing, man, to have the WCW style war games on there, I thought that would be cool because you guys had the different cage setups and the different Hell in a Cell setups.
Yeah,
Like that would be kind of fun to switch out the war games a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We are well aware of that one.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna mention being able to use the War Games arena or those two rings, just in like a one-on-one match or something like that. Because
Oh yeah.
that's what I like to see. Having it like
I would love to see that,
yeah,
especially in like a universe mode. If you're playing Survivor Series, I feel like that arena should just have the two rings set up naturally to where you can
yeah,
do any match next. So that would be so much fun.
yeah. That was my hope, and I'm still gonna push for that. Whether the the chamber or the cage is there or it's not, because yeah, like when NXT would hold or their War Games events, like the matches leading up to it. I mean, the two rings are always there. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's not
Right.
like they bring in a second ring just for the main event. So I
Yeah.
just think it'd be kind of cool to have that environment where you've got two rings to mess around with. So
That would definitely be one of the favorite arenas that everybody would be playing and trying new things out in. Look, man, I got a couple of wish list items, and I know these didn't make it into WWE 2K24, but I have to say them before we
maybe they have some of them. I don't
May
know.
I know this one didn't make, but I'm gonna
Oh,
say it, man.
okay.
Dream match for me in a wrestling video game would have to be dog collar match. A dog collar match with the blood system that you guys have now in 2K24 would just be cherry on top of everything for me. I know that a lot of people want to see things the like the championship scramble match return and other returning match types, but
There's
for
nobody who wants to see the return of the championship scramble match. Come
oh
on now, dog.
man.
Are there
Uh,
really people out? They haven't had one of those matches in like a
yeah.
decade plus.
Yeah. I've seen tons of comments, man. It's crazy,
Really?
but yeah. I had a lot
Okay.
of fun with them. I had some fun with them
No,
offline.
don't get me wrong. I did too. I mean, I worked on that match type,
The
but still.
the Iron Survivor match is the one that a lot of people are talking about right now. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we can see that in a future game as well. But dog collar match, man, I think it would be probably one of the most interesting one-on-one matches that you could do in a video game. That would be incredible if we could ever had that back, as well as chain wrestling and like an injury overhaul system would be great to see. Your match tell a story with people limping around the ring, holding their shoulder, doing some damage on a body part. I think that would be just perfect for WWE 2K in the future. Hopefully we could see some of that, man. We're gonna hit some super chats up, man. We're gonna kind of go rapid fire. If you can't answer them, Brian, you
And
already
but
know the
before you get into that, I will just say
yeah,
that your wish list items, like these are things that are discussed amongst the team
cool, man.
pretty regularly. So uh they're not just your dream.
Okay.
I'll just
I
leave it at
hope
that.
not.
Like, yeah.
I hope not, man. I would love to see some of these things make it in, man. We're gonna do some rapid fire super chats because I know we ran a little long on EPW, and I know that you're probably exhausted. So I'm gonna get through these. If you can't answer them, don't feel obligated. But yeah,
I'm gonna do what I did on with combat shows. Like if I'm just gonna say pass,
there
but
you
I'll
go.
try to
There you
answer
go.
as much as I can. I'll try to answer as much as I can.
Let's go. Dap, sorry about this, man. I actually already answered this question, but thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says, are we still capped
Yeah,
out at 100 downloadable images? No, that has not expanded. Sean Smith from the Icons over here says, have there been any upgrades or added features to create a superstar? If so, or if you were able to speak on them, kind of
yeah.
added
Well,
that too.
I mean, I mentioned, and again, I don't spend a lot of time within custom superstar as part of my day to day, but the quick save that I mentioned earlier is something that I think, especially you guys, the
Yeah,
icon crew, I think
yeah,
you guys will find very beneficial to your work moving forward. In addition to just the regular maintenance that goes into custom superstar, improving the parts, adding new parts, um, things of that nature. The new create a sign, the ability to create your own custom refs for special guest referee match. And yeah. So yeah, custom superstar, it always gets its attention. Trust me. It's we realize how popular custom superstar is to the fans and honestly to the extending the life of the game year over year.
yeah, yeah.
Honestly, thanks to a lot of Sean's effort and the Gorilla Nuts and those guys, in addition to everybody else who is just prolific with the content that they make. It's just amazing.
Thank you so much for that super chat, Sean. Let me see here. Trey, will you bring back the ability to call for a tag like in the past? Tag matches need an upgrade and have the ability to be the best mode in the game, in my opinion.
So we made some improvements to the tag team match this year, for sure. One of I haven't even mentioned this yet in any interviews that I've done, but
Let's get it.
well, I'm fearful of saying anything because I need to. I would have preferred to have checked it out myself and experienced it myself.
Okay.
But I know that there are improvements that have been made to because one of the things with some of the best feedback that we've received as far as our tag matches go has been the fact of the constant interruptions that occur when you're trying to end the match, especially in like a 6-man or an 8-man tag or whatever. It can be kind of it could be a laborious process to try to stop, especially the AI from constantly interfering.
Yeah.
So that is something that has been worked on this year, and I think goes a long way, or will go a long way towards mitigating that frustration when you are trying to end a match and you should be able to end the match
Right.
when you're playing a tag. So be on the lookout for that.
Awesome, man. See here. Cool Man says, hey, Brian, I'm wondering if we'll get any DLC news / hints before the early release / release of the game. Can't wait to see what you guys cooked up.
So I would just say that our DLC is dope. Knowing what it is we're going to be delivering this year. I think
there's one thing that I want to see delivered this year. I'm just going to point it out.
I have no idea what that could be.
Hey.
I'm really excited for our DLC announcement when that info drops. I do believe that you guys will know what that is before the early access release. I believe, because I know last year when we were promoting 2K23, that information came out before the game hit store shelves. So just be on the lookout. We are a couple of weeks away from this bad boy of a game hitting store shelves, and we have a lot of things, a lot of information. We're still doing the roster rollout, the ratings rollout. So just be on the lookout. That information will be forthcoming.
And you're doing
and I've got my fingers crossed that and I've got my fingers crossed that you'll enjoy the DLC as much as I'm hoping everybody will. Again, fingers crossed.
I got a lot of questions too before I move on to the next super chat. I got a lot of questions in the Twitter posts and some online on YouTube. Some clarification on the 40 years of WrestleMania pack. Like when you download the 40 years of WrestleMania, is the only thing we're waiting for the WrestleMania 40 arena? Is that the only thing that we're waiting for to come out, or are those packs that are unlocked with the purchase of 40 years of WrestleMania?
Yeah, that is a good question.
I just wanted to clarify that for some people that were confused on it, because I was under the impression that you're only waiting for the WrestleMania 40 arena and that you got everything else at release, but I could be wrong. Other than the 5 packs of DLC, obviously.
Yeah, I believe that that DLC is coming out, I think, all together at the same time, but it's got its own release schedule. I'm trying to see if I can find that now. I'll get it back to you. I'll get back to you with that. Perfect. But I've heard because this kind of been going different kind of ways, but I know there's been some confusion regarding that. So I'll have to dig in. Again, I don't want to speak out of turn out of pocket and give out the wrong information.
For sure. Just let me know whenever you can on that so we can clarify for people purchasing 40 years of WrestleMania. Let me see here. D-Boy says, in regards to universe mode, as in depth as what makes it so difficult to deal with in regards to adding things like promos, segments, and just the weekly storyline elements we see on TV?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, it's something I don't work on universe mode in that level of depth and detail. But I can just say, I mean, universe is just a behemoth of a mode. And I mean, just making this game is difficult, right? And I can only imagine, with Crystal and the universe mode team, the level of things they have to account for in dealing with that mode. But let me see. So difficult to deal with promo segments and elements on TV. I mean, it's just content, right? It's content and logic to go along with that content. And if you've played Universe, there's a ton of it. And so it's, you add anything new to it, and there's just it affects every new thing you add, and if whether it's new match types like the casket and ambulance that are available in universe mode, it just kind of creates not a cascade, but just things you have to account for that for all the universe mode specific tweaks and elements that go along with it. I'm sounding like an idiot probably because again, I don't really I don't do
No,
a lot
no.
of
I
work
mean,
with it.
it's if it's not your wheelhouse, you know what I mean, and you ain't got the answer to it, then
Yeah,
that's perfectly fine. Hayden says, are there going to be a lot of tag teams?
yeah. Let me see. So I've got this list here of superstars that have been announced right now, because I don't want to ruin
Yeah,
anybody who hasn't.
right.
Um, I guess it depends on what you mean by a lot. I think so. I mean, I see the list. If you account for the main roster and then Legends alumni, I think if you are a fan of tag team wrestling, you will be you're going to be well served. I think you'll be super served this year, especially when you take into account the NXT superstars that have been added this year. Uh, and again, the female side of things. There's some female tag teams that'll be new this year. So yeah, I think
Sweet.
I can confidently say there's this. It rises to the level of a lot.
Perfect, man. Perfect. See here. Ryan Robinson says, will my faction alternate attires or models be able to be used in other modes?
Yeah, let me see here because
If you can't answer that just yet,
yeah, I don't think I can answer that just yet.
okay.
I will just say yes. We'll have to hold off of answering this one for the moment, but just to let Ryan and all the other my faction players out there, who I'm sure this is on the top of everybody's minds in regards to my faction.
Absolutely.
Everybody's, the people's you guys have been heard. Um, so I will just leave it at that, and that I think anyone who might have been frustrated with my faction in 22 and 23, I do not envision that same frustration being a part of 2K24.
I like to hear it, man. You love to see it. VJC says, if I may ask, are we going to be able to use my faction wrestlers in the main game outside of my faction? Sorry, bud. Somebody beat you to that question.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
I
just say
appreciate it.
ditto my previous answer.
Yeah. Lee Valentine says, will unique arenas ever be added? Outdoor arenas, beaches, and so forth. Can we get some mini skirts to create old school divas again? So kind of a two-part question right there. Good good question on the arenas, though. The outdoor arenas, beaches, and so forth. I think that would be cool to get like a retro WCW bash at the beach theme, or what was that Nitro that they did in Panama City, right? Where
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
surrounded by the water. That'd be kind of cool.
And Lee Valentine, she's prolific. I got a whole bunch of questions from her and Conrad's show too.
I seen it.
Appreciate the questions. Um, well, yeah, I mean, without spoiling anything, there is an outdoor arena in the 40 years of Showcase. Um, won't say which one, but there will be a night and a day version of it, which is looks pretty badass, if I say so myself.
Nice.
I don't believe there are any beaches in 2K24, but like you said, you know, that's great. It's great, great idea, great content for Custom Arena. Moving forward, being able to create more kind of unique and novel arena environments and situations. So yeah, and get some mini skirts to create old school divas again. I mean, we've got some pretty low skirts in the game as is. I mean, but we can. I guess we can always add more, right? So
Right.
we'll look into that.
Right on, man. Infinity says, can we choose third party in rival reactions?
That I do not have the answer for. I am
I
sorry,
think he's, what
Infinity.
does he mean in like triple threats, like a triple threat rival
Like,
reaction? That'd be kind of cool.
yeah,
Next question. Old school says, is Great Khali in the game? Please add for Punjabi
Punjabi
fans.
fan. I am not able to answer this question at the moment, unfortunately. Old school. I will just say, just hang tight to at WWE 2K and the games and Conrad show and Jesse show for more information on the roster moving forward.
For sure. Great answer. RJB says, will it work for resiliency if you make them 85?
So by them, I'm assuming you're referring to like custom characters. And yeah, any character. I mean, and look, I mean, whether you create them yourself, yeah, if they're an 85, they are eligible for resiliency. And yeah, and at the same token, you can take a one of the WWE superstars like Cody Rhodes, for example. I think his rating came out yesterday. He's a 93 by default. If you wanted to, you could lower him to like a 70, and he no longer will be able to hold resiliency. So yeah, it'll be all up to
Nice.
you, whoever you make, and how you want them to behave in the game. And we also added like a whole bunch of paybacks too, which I'll
I'm
just throw
excited
out
about
there.
those, man.
Yeah, six new paybacks this year,
That's
two of
awesome.
which are unlocked through playing My Rise. And I'm not going to spoil what those two are, but when you do unlock them in My Rise, you can use them everywhere else in the game, which is really cool.
Nice. Nice. Let me see here. Trey says, can we do finishers and signatures off of ladders and ledges?
So ladders and ledges, like we have those, kind of unique finishing moves already, but I imagine you're probably talking about diving, I'm assuming. Standing on top of a ladder and, like, for
Yeah.
example, doing like a frog splash if that's your finish onto an opponent.
Right.
Unfortunately, no, but that is something that we are really looking to bring back in a future installment.
Nice, man. Ryan Robinson, man, with the $5 super chat again. Thank you so much, Ryan. He says, will there be a section for 4-person entrances in teams, or is that exclusive to certain factions like the Bloodline and Judgment Day?
There'd be a section for 4-person entrances and teams. I'm not entirely sure I get the question.
He's asking if they're, I'm probably, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's asking if there are more 4-person entrances within the game, or is that entrance motion exclusive to Bloodline and Judgment Day, like they had with
Yeah,
the NWO ladder?
okay, yeah, that I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, Brian. I apologize. I don't want to give you false info. I'll find out and I'll let Jesse know, and we'll go from there.
Cool, man. Lee again with the $5 super chat says, has female cause been improved? Can more hairstyles be added in patches? Charlotte showcase, please.
Uh, all of the calls have been improved, male and female. So yes, can more hairstyles be added in patches? Um, that is something we can look into. And Charlotte Showcase, please. I guess I can't comment on that if you're asking. So
Right.
just hang tight, hang tight.
See here, Barry says, will the Fiend have his own winning animations for winning normal matches and title matches? Also, do you know if he has his own side plates for titles?
Uh, he will definitely have his own victories. You're talking the victory scene for when you win with him. Yeah. As far as for title matches, I would have to double check that one. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. And same for the side plates. I don't believe so, but I could be wrong. But I don't think.
Okay.
Although he
I
might actually, because he was in the game previously. So
we'll try to rush through some more, guys.
yeah.
We're kind of going over time right here. So it says, I skipped leg day. Do inactive superstars such as Big E and Robert Roode have a chance to be in 2K24?
Well, I can't say anything about Rude just because he hasn't been announced, but Big E's already been announced. So
There
yeah,
you go.
the whole New Day they were revealed I think yesterday or the day before. So yeah.
Legendary says, is the draft in universe mode and also in the future games, can there be a feature where we can transfer our cause to the next game? Thank you, guys.
The draft is in MyGM mode. That's the draft is exclusive to that mode. And yeah, I'm getting a lot of people asking to being able to, carry over saves from, one game to the next. And I mean, look, it's nothing is impossible, but we do so many updates to the the just technical updates year over year that it can be hard for that old data from the previous game to coexist with the new. So it's probably not, but you never know. You never know.
Will 2K ever bring back story designer mode?
Never say never. Trust me. I mean, now that we've brought back, special guest referee match. I mean, trust me, we have heard you guys over the years request the return of creative story. So just hang in there with us.
Considered quality of life updates DQ by ignoring rope breaks.
Yeah, so this was an old feature that we had in the game where you could ignore a rope break and get DQ'd. We do not have it in 2K24, but it's something that I'd love to bring back in the future
Awesome.
installment.
Awesome. I'd love to see, like, with the special guest referee, just go and kick somebody's hand, like when they're
Yeah,
trying to pin somebody,
yeah, no,
kick the hand off.
it lends itself to that match type in particular, like those type of actions. So yeah,
Yeah. Has the stat tracking been fixed in universe mode as far as WrestleMania is completed in, competed in, sorry about that, and main evented and win and loss record?
yeah, I was unaware that this was not working. So I'm assuming yes, but I will have to get back to you.
All right. Let me see here. Been wanting championship scramble for
Oh,
years.
there you go. There's one. Okay,
There,
okay.
there it
I mean,
is.
look, don't get me wrong. I like the match type. I do. They just haven't had one in so long.
I think we already answered this one from Hayden. Sorry about that,
Yeah.
Hayden. Appreciate the $4 though. Legendary says also, Brian, welcome back to the team, man. So happy and proud to see you back, man. You are a legend. Let's go.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really do.
$5, man, to praise you, bro.
Yeah, I thank you,
Soak it
man.
in. Soak it in.
I'm not worthy of that praise. I'm just a guy. I'm one of many, incredible people who are, doing their best to make this game as good as it can be. But I appreciate the kind words.
Elimination option in war games.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. This goes to your, improvements like custom match. This would be a good one to have for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
see if
absolutely.
we can get that in a future installment.
Sweet.
I like that idea.
Bradley says, any legends from AEW that you can use in 2K that you would love back in the game? Is the plan to eventually be able to drive the car backstage?
Re-implementing, backstage, transportation. 'Cause I know like SmackDown versus Raw, you could ride the motorcycle and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff was so much fun.
Here
And
comes the pain, man.
yeah, and we'd love to get back to that. And we're getting there. I think with the re-addition of throwable weapons and all the crazy things you can do in backstage now, breakable glass. We're
Right.
getting there slowly but surely. But yeah, we'd love to see. I'd love to see the return of motorized, whether it's a motorcycle, a cart, a golf cart, anything to get behind
Any
the
of that
wheel
stuff.
and run somebody down.
That'd be fun, man. That'd be fun. Any custom side plates? None have been shown.
Uh, I think so. I'm not sure. I'll dig into that.
Please add the Here Comes the Pain stunner, pedigree, and rock bottom. You're gonna have
Duly
to
noted.
bust out that old mocap for you there, Brian.
That wasn't even mocap. That was all keyframe.
Oh, there you go. Dr. Gorilla Nuts with the $5 said, "Hey Brian, do you like Jesse's camera? It's new."
This camera is amazing, dog. Jesse, he sent me his whole setup. He sent me some photos of it yesterday, and I was like, man, look at you, dog. Look at this professional setup you got. I love it.
Stepping up in the world a little bit. My
You've
wife,
never looked better, brother. You've never looked better.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. The wife probably doesn't feel the same. She's like, "You're spending too much money. Quit the podcast." It's over. It's over. Rocket says, "Will the crowd ever be as live and as loud as it was in like WWE 13?"
Yeah. So the crowd, we are, we understand and we are aware of some of the, criticisms of the crowd, and we are working to address them. Um, One thing in particular that I know, I saw people that saw, I guess Jay Uso's new entrance got posted, and I saw people saying, "Oh, the crowd's not, doing the hand thing." That is something that we're working on, and we are aware. Because trust me, I mean, guys, everybody, we see these things on TV every week, just like you. And trust us, we are doing our best to try to replicate and be as true and authentic to a program as possible. So just hang in there with us.
MyGM is my bread and butter, so hearing more stuff is in there is awesome. Can any superstar gain XP and such?
I believe it's any superstar, but I'd have to double check. Again, like that's not my area per se. But I know that I want to say yeah, but again, I'd rather just double check and get back with Jesse and he can get back to you.
For sure, man. Antonio says, "Can we disable all the special effects during matches? Any accessibility improvements for disabled gamers? I think it's an area the franchise has seriously fallen behind." Oh, I've seen this question on social media. So it has to do with people having seizures and stuff with the flashing motions within the
Yeah.
game and disabling like the flashing red when the finisher's hit or even the super finisher now.
Okay, because I heard about the effect of the super finisher, but it's also the red too, huh?
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
Okay.
on a few comments, it was brought to my attention. Yeah.
Yeah, so on the issue of the accessibility and things that we can do better to improve that, I mean I mean I don't have to tell you because you're the one who posed the question, but you're absolutely right. And we as a team are well aware and are hoping to expand in that area because it is a thing where it's we got to catch up to the times, and most AAA games they have accessibility options to address those concerns, and while we have a few, it's an area that we can definitely do more and to support. So yeah, well,
All
yeah.
All right, guys, we are running way over time, so I'm just gonna get a couple more super chats in, and then we're gonna end the stream. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Dap says, "How about prompted run-ins?"
How about prompted run-ins? Are we talking about the payback run-in? What are we talking about here?
And then we're talking about run-ins just from the backstage, like during a match, you can just have a prompted run-in, have somebody come in, interfere in the match.
That's the payback or the run-in payback, right?
I'm not sure.
That's
Is
what
it?
triggers that run-in,
Oh,
unless I'm because
you
that's what
might
the
be
run-in
right.
payback does. Like you get knocked down or whatever, you can trigger that, and then
I,
it'll call one of your allies to either to the stage, or they'll run down and try to clobber you, the
bro, I'm
opponent, or distract the ref.
completely honest. Like, I never even knew that was a payback. I just seen it prompted sometimes, and I was like, "Oh, cool, run in." I'm old. I'm old. All right. The Black Ghost. Can you fix the lighting and pyro issues and create an entrance? They didn't work properly in 2K23.
We will look into that. Absolutely.
There you go. Jakey says, has there been any thought of adding Gargano's final beat as a finisher?
So because that move is performed on the apron and is a grab, it currently doesn't quite fit the conditions needed to be a finisher in the game. If that makes sense to you, because it's not as if it's a springboard like AJ's phenomenal forearm. It really is a grab that requires the opponent to be close enough to be grabbed while you were on the apron. And it'll just be a headache to be able to get the opponent, whether it's AI or another human player, to get them in that situation. So that's why we don't currently support that position as a special move, as a signature or finisher.
So I guess I skipped the furry boot question in the super chat. So are there furry boots that you could put on the creator wrestlers?
I would imagine so. I mean, I haven't gone through every part that's been added, but let me see. I'm trying to think who's there. There will be some furry boots in the game.
There you
Dominic's got furry boots
There
in the
you go.
game.
There you go. Diamond says more than 100 cost slots. We've already answered that. I
Yeah.
appreciate the support there. Yes, it's the same. It's the same. So 100 cost slots, 1,000 logo limit. And I think that's going to wrap us up, Brian. I thank you so much, man, for joining us here today. And guys, it's not going to be the last time that he's on the show, man. Brian's the homie. He'll be back, and we're looking to do something with the Icon Boys. Is that correct, Brian?
Yeah, I'm hoping to, but I actually think that instead of having me, I think because they are so specialized with the create aspect, I think it'd be cool if we could one of the custom superstar guys to
That'd be
join them.
amazing.
I think
That'd
I
be
think
amazing.
that I think that would be the conversation that I think the Icon crew would enjoy the most, and I think for us, like just being able to have our guy sit with them and discuss all things custom superstar might be the better approach to go. But yeah, we'll see. We'll have to discuss with Al and the team and see what's best moving forward.
Perfect, man. Perfect. Well, Brian, thank you so much. Guys, you can get a pre-order for WWE 2K24 in the description of this podcast. Brian, sell us on the game, buddy.
I mean, look, I will just say that if you enjoyed WWE 2K23, you definitely need to come back for 24. I mean, it's a celebration of WrestleMania, 40 years. It's a grand sequel 10 years later to WWE 2K14, where we celebrated 30 years of WrestleMania. You know, come for the showcase, you know, witness those and get a chance to participate in those classic WrestleMania matches. And then stay for everything else, you know, stay for the new special guest referee match. You guys have been asking for it. It's back, bigger, better than before. Offline, online, the ambulance match, the casket match, brand new to the franchise. With the one exception of 2K15 Showcase, there's never been a casket match proper in the game. Buried Alive, yeah, but not the casket. So just, you know, a lot of firsts this year. And then, of course, you're bringing back the gauntlet match. It's just really, I mean, WWE 2K24 really is just that, it's a supersized meal. It's the, think of it as the Thanksgiving meal of video games, you know, it's got a little bit and a lot for everybody, whether you're a MyGM aficionado, universe, gameplay, My Rise. Often we didn't get any questions about My Rise, but My Rise is back and it's got 2 awesome stories.
I can't wait for the My Rise mode.
Yeah, and like I said, just a lot of cool content and unlockables within that mode. And of course, you got all the cool unlocks and showcase. But I think My Rise, that's gonna really kill it this year as well. And just take it from me. I mean, I know I'm a biased source, but I play the game quite a bit. I was playing it earlier today. It's fun, y'all.
I'm excited. I'm definitely going to take it from you, and I don't think that you're biased at all. I talk to you all the time. The fact that you use the words, this one is special. And I know coming from you, if you're saying this one is special, there's definitely something to take note of for WWE 2K24, man. So thank you so much, Bryan. Thank you. Shout out to Al. Shout out to WWE 2K for allowing this to happen again. It's not going to be the last time, guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.